Hey, I feel like playing some SEGA Genesis tonight, and I'm gonna play one of my favorite games from one of my all-time favorite series of all time, and that is Shadow Dancer: The Secret of Shinobi. Now, this game originally was released as an arcade title. I never had access to the arcade machine when I was a kid. There was a couple of arcades in the area. I'm thinking Aladdin's Castle in the mall, that's what it was called. And we had a lot of games there, and there's an arcade in town nowadays, Robot City Games. One of the best arcades I've ever been to, probably the best. Full of quality retro games, and yet just something I've never come across in the wild. I'd love to play this on an arcade cabinet. In all reality, I should probably just download it as a ROM and, you know, try and play it that way. But Shinobi, I mean, I can't say is enough good things about this series. Definitely my favorite series of games on the Sega, without a doubt. I'd play any of these games any day. So, I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to skip the demo there. And I'm not going to ramp up the difficulty, but I'm also not going to take it down a notch either. I'm just going to play the game as it is. So we're going to get right into round one here. Alright. I love the music in this game and the scenery as well. Like, for example, this you got the city in flames in the background. It just looks so cool. I mean, actually, round one, stage one, is one of my favorite stages in the whole game just because of how it looks. And throughout the game, you'll find these nice power-ups that basically allow you to dispense with enemies very quickly. You know, basically just one or two shots will take care of them. Even the guys who have shields can fire right through them. So, if you haven't noticed by now, or if you're just unfamiliar with the game, you have a dog. And the dog's name is Yamato, and he's a very faithful canine companion. And it's actually an incredible idea for a game. What you do with this dog is when you're about to attack an enemy, if you want to use him to attack an enemy, he'll start barking, and you can press and hold down the B button, and that will charge up his meter, and then you can sick him on any enemies that you want. Yeah, there wasn't any need to kill that guy, but I couldn't help myself. I just like to clear out the rounds. So you get a bit of a bonus, a points bonus, for not using your special ninja power there, which is done by pressing the A button. But there's no point to these points at all. They don't give you extra lives. They don't add up to anything. Ooh, that was falling rocks. This isn't the first game to have a giant samurai as the first world boss, world round, whatever. However they do it in these crazy Sega games. But on most of these boss battles, I do like to use the ninja power. As you see me doing right now, he's got a bunch of comets coming down, and that'll end him. And I didn't get the bonus this round. That's sweet. You get these little bonus stages in between where you have to shoot all the ninjas that, you know, that are flying up the screen. I don't know how they're doing that. They're bouncing between buildings. Now, my personal best record on any one of these is to get 48 out of 50. And I know that if you get 48 of them, you get a 1-up. So I'm wondering if you get more than that. If you get more than just 1-up, maybe you get 2-up or 3-up. If you get them all, maybe you get like a 5-up or something crazy. Not doing too bad so far. I think I got 49. Alright, yeah, so I did get 2-up. I guess that answers that question. And man, I'm glad that's on camera too, because that's the best I've ever done. Alright, so round 2, Battle on the Railway. Now, I should have said this beforehand, but in this game, you take control of... Well, I guess it's really a matter of where you're from. in Japan, the Japanese version of this game, you would be taking control of Hayate, the son of Joe Musashi. And, but here in America, or I'm pretty sure just about any English-speaking country, or even for that matter, Europe, you take control of Joe Musashi himself, coming out of retirement, I think is what the manual said. Either way, he looks the same in whatever version of the game that you decide to play, or that you have. I chose this game for another reason too, and that reason is the controls are super tight. I mean, I'm a huge fan of platformers as it is, but to have good controls, I mean, that just makes all the difference. It's just such a good, solid game. Ooh, I'm gonna sick Yamato on him. There we go. So yeah, I get the bonus this time, so I didn't use the tornado, but I didn't need it. Yeah, that helicopter that flies overhead, that thing scared the hell out of me all the time. Every time. Well, not anymore, actually, but when I was younger, I used to think it was going to shoot at me. And in one of the later levels, it does. I guess I might as well complete what's over here on this end of the fence before I progress. There, take care of them. Get her. Yeah, so that kind of brings me to the point of this game, is that you're rescuing hostages, and if you leave any of them behind, then you won't be able to progress. You have to rescue every hostage, and then you can progress to the next stage. Now, Yamato is a very good companion. He can attack most any enemy, but those ninjas that appear, they're well defended, you know, with their swords and everything. So if you try to sick Yamato on them, it won't work. They'll cut him down and he'll shrink to a smaller sized dog, and you'll basically either have to wait for the timer to run out or rescue a hostage, and then he'll go back to his normal fighting form. So here we are at the boss. Oh yeah, it's this thing. I forget what his name is. The face in the brick wall. You gotta avoid his claws while trying to fire these, well, I guess, you know, the instruction manual would call it shurikens. They look like ninja stars to me. Try and avoid them and hit them with those things. There we go, now I'm going to use my power. That takes care of him pretty quick. Alright. So that wasn't too bad. Round 2 is not too bad. But there's only 5 rounds in this game. It gets very difficult near the end, though. It's a very short Shinobi game in comparison. But it's one of my favorites. I always wanted this one. You'd see when I was younger, I didn't have a Sega. And, you know, a friend of mine had this game, and I played The Revenge of Shinobi, and eventually, once I got a Sega, I played Shinobi 3, and they're both so good. Again, I can't say enough good things about this series in general. But this game always stood out to me. I think it just has a lot to do with the dog. You know, it's very colorful. You see, this is more of a normal bonus round for me. I didn't get very many at all. I'll probably just get some lousy points at the end. Yeah, I missed 6 of them. So this seems like a pretty decent place to take a break, and what I'm going to do is cut the film right here, and we'll come back and we'll play round 3. Stay tuned.